First, while a lot has happened in the last, especially 48 hours, I want everybody to remember that we lost Joshua Phipps, a Russell County deputy. He was killed in the line of duty earlier this week. We are still thinking and praying for him, his dad, his mom, his sister, who I talked to briefly the morning after. His funeral will be Saturday, tomorrow. Flags will fly at half staff at all state office buildings. And I'm calling on everybody else who flies a flag either at their home or their place of business to fly it at half staff in Joshua's honor tomorrow. The Kentucky State Police Honor Guard will be delivering the 2 flags that were flying over the Capitol on the day of his death to his parents. So again, thinking about him, the entire law enforcement community, that entire community, and hoping his family knows we care about them, we love them, we'll carry their grief just a little if they'll let us, as long as they need us to, and we are grateful for the sacrifice of their son. The second is I want to once again state clearly and unequivocally that Representative Grossberg should resign. He should resign. And the third piece, and I just learned about this yesterday afternoon, is a large federal grant has been made for Ascend Elements, one of our very large projects in the EV space. It's in Hopkinsville. It's a $125 million grant from the federal government to help move that project forward. So exciting news on that piece in economic development. So with that, I'll open it up for questions. I would say the Lieutenant Governor also has a statement out calling for the resignation of Representative Grossberg. We stand united together, believing that this is the right thing to do, and I hope he hears it, and I hope he follows it. We'll start with Carolina.
Governor, do you have any reaction to the situation in Letcher County?
It's so what we know is that yesterday afternoon, the sheriff in Letcher County shot and killed a district judge. Now, I know there's a whole lot that's out there on the internet and elsewhere. This is an active, ongoing investigation. As a former prosecutor and the former AG, I'm not going to comment on any pieces of it to make sure that the state police can continue that investigation. They will follow the evidence when they have it. They will comment on motive, and then it will be prosecuted by the Commonwealth Attorney, Jackie Steele. Mason.
Governor, what is the process to remove Representative Grossberg if he chooses not to resign?
I believe that impeachment is the only process to remove a state legislator that refuses to resign. Otherwise, it would be the next election. Doug, do we have it? Okay, thanks. Travis?
Bashir, there's a news conference outside that taking place about your executive order. Some of these are Christian counselors who say that historic Christianity has said that marriage is between a man and a woman, that there are 2 genders. What do you say to them? They say they can't practice under your executive order. Do you expect it to hold up?
I expect it to hold up in court. Every major medical association has said that so-called conversion therapy harms and significantly harms children. It doubles the likelihood of suicide. We shouldn't be doing things that take the lives of our kids. I am a Christian. My faith tells me that I'm supposed to love everyone, and that means everyone regardless of their sexuality. I believe that every child is a child of God, beautiful and perfect. And I'm going to stand up for these kids to make sure they know that somebody cares about them and wants to prevent a practice that has been causing significant and long-term harm to these children. Sylvia.
So you've held off on calling specifically for Representative Grossberg to resign until now. What about this? I assume it's this morning's Carolina report crosses the line.
Well, I previously said I think he should seriously consider whether he should be a state representative. I just want to be clear and unequivocal. This conduct is wrong, and you can't be a state representative. You shouldn't be. Let me back up. Nobody should face harassment, in their place of work, in the Capitol, anywhere across the Commonwealth. And when it appears that a state representative is engaging in that type of conduct, and we just need to speak in one clear voice that it's absolutely unacceptable. I want my daughter to grow up in a world free from harassment. I want my son to grow up in a world free from harassment. And these allegations and the alleged conduct, it crossed the line in the first story, it crossed the line in this story. It's too much. He needs to resign. Mark Vanderhoff on the line.
Connor, can you elaborate on any of the details that you might have about Representative Grossberg's conduct that convinced you that you had to go ahead and call for his resignation before the investigation and a decision from the Ethics Commission was complete?
Listen, at this point, we have numerous people coming forward with allegations that are absolutely unacceptable. It's time. I had hoped that my previous comments would be heard and that he would listen to them and decide that this was what was best. Obviously, that didn't happen, so I'm just trying to be clear today. Alex Akisto.
Hey, Governor, to piggyback on Mark's question, what concerns you most about the allegations against Representative Grossberg that we reported? And have you personally heard from any of the women who've accused him of misconduct?
Well, I want to preserve the confidentiality of any of those conversations that someone had with me. You know, I have as Attorney General and as Governor tried to lead in a way that is inclusive, that is professional, that always stands up to harassment, and it's all of it. I mean, it just from an individual here at the Capitol that felt unsafe to others at political events that have felt unsafe to the article today. You cannot be a state representative and engage in this type of conduct, but no human being should make other people feel unsafe. You know, harassment is wrong in all of its forms. Samantha Valentino.
A lot of people, including some of the victims in this case, are now calling for changes to the legislative code of ethics to prevent the types of behavior Grossberg is accused of. I'm just interested to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, I think the legislative ethics code has either been very weak or has been enforced very weakly over the years. I mean, you can look back at so many different, very concerning either conduct or things that had occurred. You know, we do need a stronger legislative code of ethics, but we also need stronger enforcement of it. McKenna Horsley.
Thank you, Governor. What actions do you think the House Democratic Caucus should take following these latest allegations against Representative Grossberg? Should he not resign? Should he be permanently suspended from the caucus?
I think the caucus needs to make that decision, but I think they have spoken very strongly with some of the most significant steps that I have seen taken against a caucus member. Karen Czar.
Thank you, Governor. In situations like these, victims still often don't want to come forward for fear of not being believed or fear of repercussions. What is your message directly to victims who are afraid to come forward?
Yeah, I know some of these individuals, and I hate that they've gone through what they've gone through. I hope that people see or hear today that we will listen, that they will be believed, and that no one should use a position of authority to make anyone else feel unsafe or harassed. Now, it's important that in a world where we still see far too much conduct that's just totally unacceptable, for people to know that if they choose to speak out, they'll be heard. And Tom Latek.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning. If President Stivers and Speaker Osborne come to you, would you call a special session for impeachment of Representative Grossberg?
I had not thought through that piece. That would be a discussion we would have with them. I'm hoping that today the message is loud enough and clear enough, and Representative Grossberg decides to take the right action. And finally, Hannah Pinsky.
Hi, Governor. Do you think that these allegations against Grossberg are going to hurt the Kentucky Democrats, party image and momentum ahead of the November election?
I don't. Everybody's conduct is their own. I mean, we saw a former Republican candidate for governor and his lieutenant candidate for governor both go to prison. What, in the same span of several months, a couple of years ago. There was a former state representative, Robert Goforth, as well as Mike Hogan, his running mate. And I don't think that should create any specter on the Republican Party. People make their own decisions. They should be individually held accountable for that. And you shouldn't take one person's bad conduct and try to push it off onto others, especially those that are trying to do the right thing. Being a former prosecutor, being the former AG, I believe that we hold individuals accountable when they've done wrong. And hopefully after that, they'll start doing right. Okay. Thank you all very much.